Here's my little dasher bag. Okay. Yes, sir. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, this is your first time seeing my face. Hey, how are you? How you doing today, girl? So, or guy. We don't discriminate. So, today's video is all about DoorDash. If you see the title of this video, you pretty much know what I'm gonna be talking about. We're giving you tips and tricks and advice on how to make the most of your money on DoorDash, or I guess Postmates and Uber Eats too. I never use those, but maybe this might apply to that too. So if you're pretty much new, don't really know what DoorDash is, or you're thinking about becoming a driver, pretty much DoorDash is a food delivery service where we, the drivers, pick up the food, drop it off to the customer, and pretty much get paid to do it. It's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory, just a food delivery service. I've been using DoorDash for about 6 months now. I started back in November of 2019. And when I first got started, I wish there was like tips and tricks people would have taught me or told me, or DoorDash would have gave me like a handbook or something, because you kind of just learn it as you go along. And if you're not careful, you'll put a lot of wear and tear on your car. You'll be wasting your time. You'll probably not get as many orders or make as much money as you possibly can if you don't take into account some of these tricks. So without further ado, we ain't gonna talk too much. We're just gonna get right into this video. Here's my tips and tricks that I use to make $500 in a week using DoorDash. My first tip that I would definitely say for people who don't know or newcomers to DoorDash is definitely track your mileage, because when it comes to, or I'll say if you make over a certain amount, I don't know the exact amount of what that is, but when it comes time to pay back taxes, and I think if you make over like, it might be between, I want to say $600 a month, but that sounds a lot. So for the purpose of this video, we'll just say like you make over $200 a month, but if that sounds low. If you make a certain amount, if you make over a certain amount a month using DoorDash, then you have to pay back Uncle Sam. And I think when you use your car for work or for a job, you get 54 cents back per mile. So definitely track your mileage early on. And this is something that I didn't do and I'm just now starting doing. So I know when it comes back to me paying back these taxes, I don't owe taxes or anything crazy, because I don't need that stress. I don't need that financial stress. So track your mileage. Know how much, know how far you're driving, how long you're driving, all of that, because DoorDash, they don't pay for your gas. So just make sure you track your mileage. You don't want to be wasting your gas driving 9 miles for a $4 order, stuff like that. So there's a whole bunch of app mileage trackers out there. Pick one. A lot of them are free. I need to download one myself, but yeah, definitely track your mileage. That's my first tip. Track your mileage, track your mileage, track your mileage. Because as a newcomer to DoorDash, no one's gonna tell you that. And it's a top tier tip. Track your mileage. My second tip going alongside tracking your mileage is don't drive around looking for orders. You're gonna waste your gas. What I do is I just turn on the DoorDash app or the Dasher app, and I just turn on when I'm chilling in my house, chilling in my room, and I'll wait for an order to come through. I guess it really depends on where you live, your area. For me, I live like about 5-10 minutes away from like a hot spot. Not that I don't recommend those, but we'll talk about that later. So I could just sit in the house, wait for an order to pop up, and then head out on the road. But I definitely never just drive around. You're gonna waste your gas. Like I said before, DoorDash does not pay for your gas. So don't waste your time driving around for 20, 30, 40 minutes wasting your gas. Because DoorDash, they're not gonna give you no money for gas. They don't pay you back. So save your mileage. Don't put that unnecessary wear and tear on your car, and just chill out in a place where there's a group of restaurants. You'll get an order, trust me. My third tip, and I was just talking about this, is don't sit near hot spots, because a lot of new drivers or a lot of people who are getting onto DoorDash, they go and sit near these hot spots, and if there's only 3 orders coming through, say every hour or so, but you have 5 drivers sitting there, 2 people aren't gonna get an order. So definitely don't sit by hot spots. Sit in places where there's like shopping centers that isn't a hot spot, but there's restaurants around. You don't want to really compete for orders with other people. You just want to get as much orders as you can. And hot spots, they're recommended, but if the reason they're called a hot spot is because a lot of drivers go there. And if there's a lot of drivers there, the less likely you're gonna get an order. So hot spots, I don't recommend. If you want to try it out, if you're a new driver, by all means do so, but I would say pick a shopping plaza or a restaurant area in your area that you're familiar with, that you know might do carry out or take out orders, and sit in that parking lot and see. You'll see that you'll start to get orders, especially if it's not a hotspot area. You'll see that you'll get orders. It's guaranteed. I will 100% assure it. As long as they deliver with DoorDash or Uber Eats or Postmates, whichever app you prefer to use, you're gonna get an order. My fourth tip is double checking the customer's address. For some reason, I've run into problems where the address on the app and the address my GPS takes me to don't necessarily match up. So say DoorDash has the address of the customer as 4612, but when I hit directions in the app and use the Apple Maps, the GPS may take me to like 4619. So it's always make sure you're double checking the customer's address before you head there, because you don't want any errors, you don't want any incomplete deliveries. And this happened to me a few days ago, where I delivered to some customer's address that the GPS sent me to, but I didn't necessarily check it, and their address was like a few houses down, and it was like an incomplete delivery situation thing, and it was just too much. So make sure you save your time, save your energy, double check it for it takes 2 seconds, and make sure you're going and delivering to the correct place, because for some reason, I don't know if this just happens to me, but DoorDash does this thing where when you hit directions in the Dasher app, it doesn't, sometimes, I won't say all the time, but sometimes it doesn't necessarily take you to the correct address. So double check it. It will save you a lot of time, a lot of energy. Seriously. My fifth tip, this is pretty much common sense, is try to be quick when you're delivering orders, but don't speed, don't be rushing through parking lots about to hit necessarily the elderly folks or people, families with young kids. Don't be speeding. I see a lot of people when I'm out dashing, they'll be speeding down the streets, and I'm just like, yo, it's not, seriously, it's not that serious. You're gonna get there when you get there, and you speeding could necessarily cost you getting a ticket or getting pulled over, and that's just, you're wasting more time or putting yourself in danger of wasting more time when you're speeding, and it's so unnecessary, for real. For me, I'm gonna get there when I get there. Even if I'm a little bit late, I'm not speeding, for real. You won't catch me speeding. I'm gonna get there when I get there, and yeah, that's it. I'm just gonna get there when I get there. So don't speed. Don't cost yourself getting a ticket. Don't cost yourself getting pulled over. It's so not worth it, for real. Just be mindful. Just be mindful of the time that you're spending at restaurants. When I say try to be quick and be fast when you're picking up orders and delivering them, I mean don't be wasting your time chit-chatting and having a whole conversation with the little employees or customers. Just be like, hey, hello, here you are, or drop it off at their doorstep. Make sure you're just being quick and efficient without just having whole conversations with people at the restaurants. It's just just give me the food so I can go. Here's your food so I can go. Pretty much, you're gonna make the most money the faster you are. If you want to get 4 deliveries in an hour, 5 deliveries, 5 is a little excessive unless they start to stack. But if you want to get a lot of deliveries in an hour, make more than I want to say $20 an hour, then you have to be quick. You have to be really efficient. So that's what I mean when I say be quick, be fast. Don't be flying on the streets, because you don't want to put yourself in that risk. My sixth tip, I would say, is drive during peak times. This is another common sense one, but for people who aren't on DoorDash, or I'm not sure how it works for Uber Eats or Postmates, you guys can let me know in the comments down below. But when I say drive during peak times, that means the weekends, dinner hours, lunch hours. Those are the prime times for the bulk of orders and when you're gonna get the most money. And I would also say, alongside of driving during peak times, schedule shifts. You could probably make a little bit of side money if it's not that busy. Probably won't be much. You probably get 1 or 2 orders within the hour, if that, maybe nothing. But try to schedule a shift. That way you could have a planned time of when you're able to DoorDash. So those are my 2 tips: drive during peak times, and try to schedule a shift if you can. And if you don't know what peak times are, those are pretty much times where an influx of orders. So lunchtime, dinner time, weekends, weekend evenings is definitely a prime time. We should definitely be out if you want to. You're just gonna get a crazy amount of orders, and every now and then DoorDash might have a peak surge period or promotion. It's $1 per delivery, or $3 per delivery, $1.50 per delivery, and those are times where you definitely want to be out, because you can make the most out of those periods. When it comes to driving around, make sure you're driving during peak hours. surge hours, which is like the per delivery, a certain amount per delivery, and try to schedule a shift if you can. If you're a newer driver, and this is my seventh tip, if you're a newer driver, I wouldn't focus too much on ratings. Not a lot of customers leave ratings, especially, and if they do leave ratings, most often than not, it's probably a rating for like maybe you forgot utensils or napkins or a straw, something really like minuscule. Like they'll leave you like 3 stars, so your rating might be like 3.2 or something. And I know DoorDash allegedly deactivates you if you're under like 4.5 customer rating. I know for me, I'm at 4.47. I'm under the 4.5 threshold, so I mean, I still drive. I'm not really deactivated, so I wouldn't really worry about it too much, especially if you're a newer driver. It's gonna take you a while to get a certain rating, and I know if you have the higher rating, you get more deliveries. Apparently, I'm not so sure how true that is either. But yeah, if you have a lower rating and you have like under 100 deliveries, I wouldn't worry too much about it. But definitely in the beginning stages, don't worry about your rating too much. Just try to be fast, efficient, and respectful. Which leads me into my 8th tip, is be respectful. Be respectful to the employees, the customers. If you're running late, send them a nice little text. Say, hey, it's a little busy in the restaurant right now. I'll make sure I get your order to you real shortly. I'll be there as soon as I can. Something along those lines, so they know, oh, hey, he or she is reaching out to me. She's letting me know, keeping me updated. So they'll be more inclined to leave you a higher rating. And it's just common courtesy. If you're delivering someone their food, and apparently I never ordered from DoorDash, so I don't know, but apparently DoorDash takes a while for you to get your food after you order it. So if you let them know the process of how long it might take, or if you let them know if they need anything extra, if you're reaching out, being respectful, they will be more inclined to leave you a better rating, which kind of coincides with my 7th tip. Not worrying about ratings, but doing little things to boost your rating, if that makes sense. And when I say be respectful to customers and employees, even though they're not leaving us a rating, they can definitely see on their side of things who the driver is, who they're delivering to. And I'm not sure if they can like ban you from their restaurant, but you want to make sure you're definitely being nice and respectful to the employees as well, because you don't want them going back to DoorDash talking about, hey, this person, just cussed me out because we were taking too long with this DoorDash delivery order. You don't want that. You don't want none of that bad energy, none of that bad stress. So just make sure you're being respectful. Just be respectful to everyone. Like, there shouldn't really be a tip, but I'm throwing it out there for people who are just, needing some quick money or whatever. Just be respectful, yeah. And my last and final tip for making over at least $300 a week, which is pretty low. I would say don't be afraid to decline orders, especially if the mileage to price ratio is off. So say you have to drive like 9 minutes away for an order, or say you have to drive 9 miles away for an order that's $4. Decline. I'm gonna decline. Personally, I'm not driving 9 miles for an order that might be $4.12. It's just, I'm not really getting much bang for my buck. I'm putting unnecessary wear and tear on my car. I'm not hitting that 54 cents per mile tax back ratio that you get. So it's not worth my time. It's not worth my energy. I know a lot of newer Dashers accept everything. Me personally, don't be afraid to decline things. If an order's taking too long at the restaurant, decline. Sorry, don't waste any time. If they're taking longer than 30 minutes to prepare your order, don't sit in a restaurant waiting 30 minutes for an order to just be made while you're sitting there, when you could be out making another delivery instead of sitting in the restaurant. Like, you're wasting your time. Don't be afraid to decline. I know a lot of new Dashers accept all kinds of deliveries, depending on, it could be $3, it could be $11. They will accept anything just to make money, when in the end, you still have to put gas in your car. Like I said earlier, DoorDash does not pay for your gas. They not pay for your wear and tear. So don't waste your time or energy. If it's so low, if the miles to price ratio doesn't add up, decline. If they're taking too long at a restaurant, decline. And even if an employee's texting you being real rash, I've seen some of these screenshots. where, I say employees, where customers are hitting you back talking about, oh, like, I don't know, if you don't get here in time, I'm gonna have to cancel this order. Decline. Oh, if you don't get here in time, this might be the last place you might deliver to. Decline. I'm not wasting my time on rude or disrespectful customers. Don't care who it is. Sorry. Well, I won't say don't care who it is. It depends on the amount. Because it's such a small interaction that you have with these customers, so it does not matter all that much. But just at the end of the day, don't be afraid to decline orders, especially if the amount is so low. I would not waste my time. But yeah, those are my tips to show you how I be making my money, my side hustle, my coin, using DoorDash, especially in these quarantine times. I know a lot of people are financially stressed or their funds are really limited. DoorDash is a really good way to make side money. For me, it started out as a side hustle. Right now, since there's no real jobs, since we're all in quarantine, it's become like my main thing. I don't do it like for 8 hours in a day, but I might go for certain periods of the day, maybe like breakfast, lunch hours, dinner time. Yeah, peak hours. I go during peak hours. So those are my tips. That's how I made $500 in this last week. If you want to see that, or just near $500, I believe. I'm not sure. There was a few days I didn't go, but if you want to see that, will be over here. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. And let me know if you want more DoorDash videos. Maybe I might do a ride-along video so you see how I get down when I'm, on the road. And yeah, if you want my referral code, if you want to sign up for DoorDash after seeing this video, I'll link that in the description box down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.